Welcome to Your World. I'm your host, Malaya, and I invite you to this space for women to reflect, learn from the lessons that life gives us while becoming the best version of ourselves. Always remember, it's your world. Go out and get what belongs to you. Hello, my queens. I hope y'all are doing well on this Thursday afternoon. Well, I'm not sure what day it'll be by the time y'all see this. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna try to get it to y'all ASAP because y'all probably like, I could have sworn last episode you said you was getting it together. As y'all can see, I don't have a camera yet. We're using my phone, and I ran out of storage, and it was like a whole thing with that. But we are back, and I am here recording these episodes for y'all. And I do want to try to pre-record these episodes because I am moving soon. I am moving into my new apartment in about 2 weeks. So I'm going to obviously be busy with moving and doing all that. So I'm going to try to pre record so I can look. We working on that consistency and I'm going to get there. Okay. Just have faith in me. Have faith in your girl. Okay. But anyway, I don't want to ramble too long. Let's start with one good and bad thing for my day. So, one good thing for my day is that I am almost done with my little personal May challenge. A little transparency moment. For those of you who don't know, I am a smoker. I don't want to label myself as a smoker, but I do smoke. I'm not going to lie, I smoke a lot. And this month, I wanted to challenge myself to not smoke, along with I haven't been drinking, I haven't been going outside partying, I've been working out more, I've been doing yoga, reading books, reading my Bible more, and journaling. So, yeah, this month I really wanted to focus on myself and taking little steps at a time to improve my life because I don't want to be smoking forever. So, I am very productive with it. It doesn't define me as a person nor slow me down. But like I said, I don't want to be doing it forever. So I wanted to prove to myself and everybody else who doubted me, which I doubted myself for a little bit too. I'm not going to lie. But I wanted to prove to us that I can do it. I am almost done. It is currently May 28th. So I have a few days left. And yeah, so give myself a pat on the back because I pushed through. I did it. I proved to myself that I am in control. But anyway, yeah, so that's one good thing I have going on. And then one bad thing is that y'all, I've been falling into the traps of social media. Like I've been scrolling and scrolling and scrolling when I should be doing other things, like recording episodes or drafting episodes. I've been wanting to update my resume, apply for more jobs and stuff like that. I'm just scrolling on my phone when I could be doing all of those things. See, I could be reading a book. I could be reading my book, but instead I'm choosing to scroll on my phone. And then once I realized, like, oh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just been scrolling on my phone for hours. Girl, that phone gonna always be there. Them same people you looking at on social media, they're gonna be there after you do what you need to do. So that's what I need to work on and get out of this cycle because it's slowing me down, and I'm not doing that. Okay. But anyway, yeah, so that was one good and bad thing from my day. And I want y'all also to be thinking, like, what's one good and bad thing from your day? And if you don't have any bad things happen, like, that's okay. That's the goal. Goal is to obviously not have any bad things, but we know things happen. And if you can't pick out one good thing from your day, just know you woke up, you got clothes on your back, you got a roof over your head. So even if you can't pick out one extravagant good thing that's happened in your day, there's a lot for you to be grateful for. So keep that in mind when you're reflecting on your day. But anyway, getting right into the episode. Today's episode is titled It's Okay to Set Boundaries. And this is something that a lot of people need a reminder of because you may think you have boundaries, but then you let people cross them or disrespect you or like say, girl, them boundaries. And no, if they don't respect your boundaries, they don't respect you. Girl, did you forget this was your world? This is your world. So why are you allowing people to treat you like a background character in your world? Okay, so a brief overview of the episode. First, we're going to talk about why it's important to have boundaries. Then, I'm going to give you a few examples of things we're not tolerating anymore from people, positive boundaries slash standards that you want for people in your life, Then I'm going to give you some personal boundaries to keep yourself in check. Then I'm going to give you some signs that you need to create those boundaries. And then finally, once you have those boundaries, we're going to talk about why you should never negotiate them. And I do want to add, you can set boundaries for everybody in your external life, your parents, your friends, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, everybody you interact with, strangers on the streets, you can have boundaries with. Like, let them know, hey, this is how it works around here, okay? Because not having boundaries allows people to treat you how they want to and allows them to just walk over you. If you are being passive in your own life, then you are just being a doormat, boo. Like, I'm sorry to say, if you aren't being assertive with, this is what I expect of people, this is how I need you to show up for me, these are the things I need to do to protect myself. If you don't have those clear expectations, then people are going to do what they want to do in your life. Boundaries keep us safe and protect us from things that don't align with what you want in your life. Because I know my highest self, she is surrounded by people that are positive, that bring me joy, that benefit my life, that are keeping me on track to where I need to go, that are holding me accountable. My highest self, she lives the most positive, drama free, elevating life. And you won't get there being around certain people or tolerating certain behavior, which is why you can set a boundary that you didn't hold before. And that's something I've definitely done over the years because as you evolve as a person, so do your boundaries. Once you grow out of certain mindsets or are changing as a person, your boundaries change with that to coincide with the life that you're creating. So people may feel like, oh, girl, this out the blue. Like, why all of a sudden you want to act like this or tell me I can't do this? It's because I'm not the same person, okay? Like, I'm evolving as a person. So as I evolve, so do my boundaries. And some people do already have boundaries, but it's like, have you told people them? Have you made them clear? Because no one can read your mind. So you need to voice how you feel, voice your expectations, voice how you want them to show up for you. And what I'm about to say might sound kind of contradicting because at the end of the day, like this is your world. So it only matters how you feel about yourself. But also, the people in your life, along with the way you allow them to treat you, is a reflection of you as well. What you present to the world is how you're going to be perceived as a person. If you tolerate disrespect, whether it's direct or allowing people to violate your boundaries, that's one pulling you further from your highest self, but it's also showing the world that, okay, maybe she's not as confident as she says she is. She probably has more respect for them than she does for herself. That's what you're presenting them when you show people that you allow certain negative things in your life. Versus if you surround yourself with people that make you feel good or you benefit from having around, you're showing them that okay, she's intentional. Like she knows who she wants in her life and she's not going for certain things, you know? And this usually is not an overnight process. However, one day you will wake up and realize, like, okay, some got to shake for me to get where I'm trying to go. So there are certain things that we're not tolerating anymore. So some examples of that are certain jokes or shady comments masked as jokes because I know we've all had to like side eye somebody or ask them what you trying to say or what you mean by that based off a comment that they said and they're like, oh no girl, it was a joke, like don't take it too serious, you know I didn't mean it like that, you know it was a joke. Nah, boo. Yes, of course, sometimes, especially your friends like to troll you, or sometimes things are jokes. But other times, people be meaning what they be saying behind them jokes. Sometimes people like to mask how they truly feel as a joke to see like how much you'll allow, especially men. Like I've realized that with men too. They like, oh, I was just playing, like, but no, they're really trying to see like how far they can go, if that makes sense. So you just got to be able to read between the lines and don't let people crack too many shady jokes on you. Also, people not reciprocating how you treat them or how you show up for them. I'm doing all these things for you, but when it comes to me, you can't give it in return or you make me feel like I'm a burden or I'm asking too much for you. But it's like, I'm giving you all these things, but now that it's my turn, you can't do that. Another one, inconsistency. People should not be able to walk in and out of your life as they choose. This is your world, like I've said, and I'm going to keep saying. So people should not be treating you like a side character in your world. People like to pop back up when they see you doing well in life or they see you thriving, but it's like, no, because where were you when I was struggling? Where were you during the hard times? Where were you when I needed somebody to talk to? But now you want to pop back up when you see I'm like living my best life and I'm like happy. But no, you can't pick and choose when you want to be in my life. Another one is always coming to you being messy with negativity or with male centered drama. Like, no, I'm not a therapist, boo. You shouldn't just be coming to me with all your problems or with all the negativity in your life. You should come to me with positivity, with good things going on in your life. You should want to talk to me just because, not because you have some juicy story to tell me. People shouldn't only be coming to you when there's some tea or some mess going on, okay? This one kind of goes along with one-sided relationships, but people that want to be heard but don't want to listen, because I've personally experienced people that always want to tell me what they got going on and vent to me about their life, but when it's my turn, they're like half listening or like not giving the same energy I gave when I was listening to them talk. And it's like, one thing my best friend's mom told me, shout out to her, one thing she told me: never take something from someone that you aren't willing to give back in return. And that is anything from physical, tangible things or emotionally. If you aren't willing to be a listening ear for me, then you shouldn't come to me wanting me to listen to you. If you aren't willing to help me when I'm down, don't come to me when you're down. I can't have all these boundaries if I'm not willing to respect and uphold other people's. You can't have certain expectations or needs or want from people that you aren't willing to give them the same thing in return equally. Not sometimes, every once in a while. No, y'all need to match each other's energy when it comes to showing up for each other. And boundaries, of course, aren't just negative or aren't just things that, oh, I don't want you to do this, I don't want you to do that. Boundaries can be positive things that bring you and that person closer or that bring you closer to who you're trying to become. So, a few examples of some positive boundaries that I personally have are reassurance. I shouldn't ever have to question where I stand in your life or question our relationship or question if you genuinely mess with me or not. You should be able to, and I'm not saying I'm not an overly needy person or like I don't always need reassurance, but it should never be a question like where we stand, you know? That's for all relationships, for friendships, romantic relationships. If I'm being clear on my boundaries and what I expect of you, you need to give me the same respect and be clear on if my boundaries are too much for you or if there's something that you're willing to like abide by. Be clear on if one day you feel like we're starting to fall off or you're starting to drift away from me. Be clear on if you just need some time for yourself. Whatever it is, I should never have to question our relationship. Another one is support physically and emotionally. When I'm going through something, I expect people around me to show up for me, be a listening ear, give me advice, or just allow me to vent. Also, checking in on my mental health, asking me, how are you doing? One thing I always ask my friends each and every phone call, every day: how are you doing? How was your day? Simple things like that mean a lot to people. I know it does to me. So, and physically showing up. So, when I have something going on, for example, my podcast, I expect my friends or people around me to show me support, whether it's leaving a like, sharing it, or just simply watching the videos. Another one is transparency. Don't be around the bush with me, boo, okay? I am a grown woman. I can handle the truth. I like nothing more than honesty. Like I said, if we're falling off or you want to take a step back from me for whatever reason, keep it real and say that. Even little things, like when my friends don't answer the phone, I'm like, girl, why you didn't answer this phone? And she like, well, I didn't want to talk today. I was just in my room chilling. I just didn't want to be bothered. And that's fine, but keep it real. Don't lie to me. Another one, which kind of goes along with the support, but encouragement. All of my friends around me, they are encouraging me for my podcast. When I'm not dropping episodes, they like, girl, what's going on? Why haven't we got an episode? When it came to me not smoking and doing everything for my little challenge, they're like, girl, you got this. Like, keep going. You already made it this far. Keep going. I want people around me that are going to encourage me and keep me accountable to reaching my goals. And I'm going to do the same thing for you. When my best friend is like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. When the next day come, you best believe I'm like, okay, so what time you going to the gym? It's easy to like slip up and be like, okay, I'll just do it tomorrow. But no, if you have someone like me that's going to be like, no, we're going to go today. That's going to be your motivation for when you can't do it yourself. And lastly, one of my biggest, more positive boundaries are being adamant on my alone time. Y'all know I love some alone time. And I don't play about it either. So if I'm in the middle of reading my book and one of my friends call, I'm not picking up the phone. If I'm meditating and I start getting text messages, I'm not checking them until I'm done doing what I have to do. When it comes to certain activities, sometimes I'm going out and doing things and my friends are like, oh, I want to go too. I want to go. But no, this is me time. Like, I'm going alone because this is my me time. We can go another day, but today I'm going by myself because I don't play by my alone time. So people need to respect that. And if they can't, if they're like, oh, why you never want to do nothing with me? Why you always want to go by yourself? Child. Anyway, so those are some examples of things we're not tolerating and some boundaries that will bring you closer to the person that you want to be. And not only that, having boundaries protect your peace because at the end of the day, at the end of the day gotta end. No, I'm just playing. But at the end of the day, I'm doing everything to protect myself, to protect my own peace. So it's like if I'm telling you what I expect of people, and I feel like I don't ask a lot, so you can either get with it or get gone, period. Sometimes you don't realize that it's time to start putting people in their place, or not even, but just letting them know, like, hey, this is how it's gonna work around here if you wanna be in my life. So feeling anxious or overwhelmed when talking to someone or dreading a conversation with them because it feels so heavy or so negative all the time. Being a people pleaser, you're always doing for other people, but when it comes to you, they don't do the same, or also feeling like you don't have any time for yourself because you're giving all your energy to these people. You don't have time to start that project. You don't have time to pursue an activity because you're catering to other people and their needs versus your own. And finally, feeling unheard or misunderstood by the people in your life. You internally know what you want and how you want people to show up for you, but they're not mirroring that, or you feel like they don't understand what you're asking of them, which is why you need to be clear, concise, and straight to the point with your boundaries. And of course, there are other signs that you need to set boundaries, but if you've experienced any of those things, then it's time to take a step back from everyone. And y'all know I love some alone time. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is sit alone, analyze all of your relationships, and ask yourself, is how they're showing up for me a good representation of the people that I want in my life? Or are they a burden? Are they bringing me further from my higher self or bringing me closer? And depending on who it is, there are some people like family or like your closest friends that you can't just cut off that easily. I'm a cut off queen, okay? Anybody could get cut off, family included. But if you want that relationship in your life, then you need to ask yourself, okay, so how can I express my needs to them in a way that they can understand? What boundaries do I need to create with them to keep them in my life, but also have them benefiting my life as well? And if you've gotten to the point where, okay, you voice your expectations, voice how you need people to show up or treat you, and they're still saying like, okay, anyway, and they doing what they want in your life, that's when it's time to take a step back. I'm not going to say cut them off of it because I know some people can't just cut people off, but take a step back. People realize what they lost once they don't have it no more. So once you start like not answering the phone for them as much or like not giving them as much of your energy, they'll be like, damn, okay, well, I want her in my life. So now I need to show up better, or like she's not playing by her boundaries. So now I need to abide by them, or I can see what's going to happen if I don't. So yeah, spend some time alone to uncover new boundaries that you may need to set. You may not have realized like, okay, this person has low key been like disrespecting me or not aligning with the people that I want in my life. So maybe I need to set this boundary from here on out. Or to also come up with a more clear way to articulate your boundaries so they understand what you mean. There should be no gray areas of what you expect of people. And of course, boundaries are not limited to other people. You can have personal boundaries for yourself to keep you disciplined, to keep you aligned with your higher self, or to keep you in check when it comes to showing up for yourself as well. So, some examples of personal boundaries that I have for myself are not checking my phone as soon as I wake up, first thing in the morning. I give myself, some days it's better than others, but I give myself at least 10 minutes before I go right on my phone when I wake up, which it should be longer, but we're working on it, okay? Another one is making sure I go to the gym a certain amount of times every week. So my set gym days are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And if I don't go one of those days, then I'm going Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday. But I'm making sure I stick to my health goals. I'm going to the gym this many times per week. Also, using sweets as a reward. I don't like to like eat a lot of junk food or sweet things. So if I want some ice cream, if I want a milkshake, then I need to complete this task, draft some podcast episodes, clean my room, fold my laundry. When I was still in school, I would tell myself, okay, if you make it to class on time every day this week, then you can get an acai bowl. Even though that's not really like a sweet treat, it's kind of healthy, but like I still like to use it as a reward because they're kind of pricey. They are kind of pricey. So yeah, I like to, instead of indulging, to keep myself like I said, align with my health goals and also keep myself on track with my other goals, I need to use certain things. Is that, I was going to say, is that gluttonous using food as a reward? I don't think so because I'm not doing it often. Okay, whatever, whatever. I'm getting off track. Also, not having negative relationships. Once I realized like I'm not benefiting from having you in my life, I've already voiced my needs and my expectations from you, and you aren't getting with the program, then I cut you off immediately. I'm not gonna say immediately because I give second chances. I don't give third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. Like, no, you don't get to keep playing with me. Once I tell you how it is gonna work over here and you like saying, girl, I don't care, I'm still gonna do what I want in your life. Oh no, baby, you're gonna get the boot, okay? You're not gonna be in my life at that point. Oh, and another one that I have that I wanna say on here because some of my friends be forgetting about this boundary. But y'all know how like your friends call you with some tea, they got something to say or they want to vent or whatever, they just call you and just start yapping. No, I need you to greet me when you get on my phone, like, hey, hello, hi, good morning. Please don't get on my phone off rip talking shit or like just running your mouth because I don't know. I just feel like it don't take nothing but a second to greet somebody. Even if you're just venting, I still need you to like say, hey, hi, hi. I didn't always have that boundary neither. That's something that I learned that was a boundary of mine. And sometimes my friends be forgetting. So they call me still and they're like, girl, tell me why. I'm like, oh, hey, good morning, then proceed. Like, you don't even have to have a whole conversation before you say what you got to say, but just greet me when you get on my phone. Lastly, a personal boundary that I have for myself is that I don't allow myself to sit in negativity for too long. Obviously, we say, like, oh, I only want positivity in my life. I don't want to be consumed by negative thoughts. At the end of the day, we're human. Like, as much as I say that I want to live a drama free, positive life, things happen and I'm human. I have natural emotions that come up with certain things. So it's like, I'm gonna feel pissed off one day. I'm gonna be irritated, but I don't allow myself to sit in that. And I also keep this like growth mentality. If you wanna be this person, if you wanna reach this point, then you can't be consumed by all that negativity. So feel it in the moment, snap out of it, like I said last episode. So, our last point, you should never negotiate your boundaries. You need to be firm, clear on your boundaries, and stand on it. Stand on them boundaries, girl. Because being lenient with your boundaries just shows people, oh, she don't mean it for real. Like, we just gonna bump what she say and I'm still gonna do what I want to do in her life or treat her how I want to treat her. And no, that's not what we doing. You can do that with a girl that allows you to, but not me, okay? And you need to be concise. Don't over explain yourself. You said what you said, and your boundaries are what they are, and that's final. It's no need to over explain or give people all these reasons on why you feel the way you do or why these are your boundaries. They are what they are. Get with it or get gone, period. And don't feel bad for becoming stricter with your boundaries because once you set those boundaries with people, you may lose some people along the way because some people may feel like, oh, she doing too much, she want to act all different now, just like they don't align with what you want in your life, you may not be aligning with them no more either. So like I said, don't feel bad for becoming stricter because that's gonna in the long run show you who's really your friend, who's really down for you and who's not, because the people that are meant to be in your life are never going to make you feel bad for having boundaries. Like, they're going to respect them and do what they need to do to adjust themselves to fit them. I have a quote from an author named Andre Gide, and I know I'm saying that right because I looked it up before I started. But he said, it's better to be hated for who you are than to be loved for who you're not. And that seems kind of self explanatory, but it's like we're not negotiating our boundaries. Like, I'm not going to be like, okay, well, I've already told them, but they're not listening to me. So I'm just going to accept what they give me and allow them to treat me how they want to. No, I'd rather you not like me and I'm being myself 100% versus you like me and I'm portraying this person or being this person that I don't want to be to keep you around, if that makes sense. Negotiating your boundaries or being lenient with them shows people your instability with your relationship with yourself and allows them to just walk over you. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm protecting myself. I'm doing everything for me, to cater to me, to protect my peace. So I'm not gonna just water down my boundaries or suppress my needs for you to accept me. Because I said this in another episode. I don't know if it was the last one or the I don't know. But I said this before. People treat you how you treat yourself. So if they see you not standing on your boundaries, they're gonna be like, okay, well, she don't even respect herself, so why would I respect her? She don't even stand on her own boundaries, so why would I stand on her boundaries? If you truly love and respect yourself, you're not gonna allow certain things to continue in your life. You're gonna be firm, mean what you say, and say what you mean. Like, don't negotiate. And don't give people too many times to play with you neither. I know sometimes we like to give second chances. Some of y'all be giving about 10 chances, but no, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. If they show you they're not going to respect your boundaries, they're showing you that they don't respect you, and you need to believe them when they show you that. Because me personally, I'm not going to give somebody too many chances to play with me. So after that second chance, maybe a third strike, you're out. After that, no more than 3 chances max, y'all. Okay, yeah, just have those boundaries. Analyze your life, the people in it, and where you're trying to go. That's the biggest thing. You need to really sit down and look at, who am I trying to be in the future, and how do I get there? How can I would say, adjust the people in my life to fit this expectation or to fit my future goals. So that is all I have for today. A little summary of everything we talked about. Boundaries keep you safe and protect you from things that don't align with what you want in your life. And people can't read your mind, so you need to voice your boundaries, voice your expectations with them to be clear on how you need them to show up for you. Being passive in your own life makes you a doormat. This is your world, boo. You're not a side character. As you grow as a person, you'll realize there's certain things you've been tolerating before that you don't want to anymore, because as you evolve, so do your boundaries. Examples of things we're not tolerating anymore are certain jokes or shady comments, inconsistency, one sided relationships, only coming to me when there's messiness or drama or male centered conversations that you want to have, wanting to be heard but not wanting to listen. Some examples of some positive boundaries are reassurance, physical and emotional support, transparency, encouragement, and accountability, and being adamant on your alone time. You can have personal boundaries to keep you disciplined or to keep yourself in check when it comes to showing up for you as well. Signs that you need to set boundaries: feeling overwhelmed or anxious when talking to someone or dreading a conversation with them, being a people pleaser, feeling like you have no time for yourself because you're giving out all your energy to these people. And finally, feeling unheard or misunderstood. Spend some time alone and reflect on the people in your life and analyze, is this person a good representation of the people that I want in my life? Does this person align with who I'm trying to be? And if not, then you ask yourself, okay, what boundaries do I need to set with this person to keep them in my life, but also have them benefiting my life? Don't negotiate your boundaries. You need to be firm, clear, and concise on what you expect from people. And you don't need to over explain yourself. Your boundaries are what they are, and people need to either get with it or get gone. Being lenient with your boundaries shows your instability with your relationship with yourself and allows people to just walk over you or treat you how they want to. And that's not what we doing. It's better to be hated for who you are than to be loved for who you're not. People that are meant to be in your life won't make you feel bad for having boundaries. They will adjust so they align with them. So that is all I have for today. If you made it this far, I love you. But first, before we close out, we need to do our affirmations. And I do want to say, and I'm going to keep saying, I hope y'all are doing these affirmations with me, because I'm not just doing them for me, I'm doing them for you too, boo. You need to declare and put into the universe the things that you want in your life and the person that you want to be. If you already feel like, girl, I'm already confident, I don't need to do no affirmations, like, I know I'm that girl. Listen, it does not hurt to remind yourself of certain things or to just love on yourself or give yourself praise out loud, because at the end of the day, you are human too. So the same way you compliment, encourage, and uplift your friends, you should do the same thing for yourself as if you're talking to someone else. So like I said, I hope y'all are doing these affirmations, because these are for us, queen. Like, we both benefit from doing it. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this is my second time filming this video. So I already have our affirmations down because I already got them from the bathroom. But ironically, the affirmations already align with the episode, and I love when that happens, because that just means it's just divine timing and alignment, okay? So, like I said, you better do those affirmations. Anyway, let's get started. I love and respect myself. I release things that no longer serve me. Y'all know what I'm about to say? You better did those affirmations. I'm not playing. You better have did them, for real. But anyway, that is all I have for today's video. Again, if you made it this far, I love you. And make sure you stay tuned for episode 6. In my last video, Things We Need to Unnormalize, I accidentally called episode 6 episode 5. So this is episode 5, obviously. Episode 6 is going to be Everyone Isn't Going at Your Pace. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, I'm going to don't give me grace, but we going to get there, okay? But anyway, make sure you follow Your World on all platforms at Your World Podcast, and I will see you next episode. Bye. Damn.
Scuba. Scuba.